There was a shooting here and that police have the suspect in custody. A lot of investigation still happening. In fact, the crime scene investigation van is about to pass right on my left, right there.
Bustling city or booming suburb? Where would you rather live? This used to be the center, filled with bars and restaurants top to bottom. That is no longer the case. It is now just a distant memory of what was.
The winter weather has a way of making us want to stay home, and commuters really got that point tonight. It's really not hard to see why. Interstate 235 still covered with snow.
We're going back on the street for Project 3. This is where 9th Street meets Keogh Way. The city wants to simplify the Spaghetti Junction and put a roundabout here instead. This was supposed to be a moment of coronation, the moment the black and gold faithful could claim a gold medal, the moment where the fight for Iowa would be complete. Instead, the Carver Hawkeye stands are dark as fans wonder where it all went wrong.
DJ Jackson always told his young sons to stay away from the fast traffic on 1st Street.
It's always been a concern of mine, but I always try to teach them, like, yo, stay away from the road if we're not there with you.
On Thursday, that traffic came right through his house.
So when I heard the bump, I was listening for what was going to be the next sound, and that sound so happened to be it smashing through my studio.
A truck with a trailer destroyed Jackson's front room while he was inside of it.
2 seconds, I heard the impact and seeing light and just seeing me in the air. So, like, in them 2 seconds, I felt myself being levitated.
Jackson's chair is now surrounded by what used to be his studio and front steps.
I know I landed right here because when I got up, I just came through the gate.
He pulled through in much better shape than the sunroom.
It was my knees that got damaged, and then I got this on my ribs. My ribs are really bruised with a big scar on my ribs, and I kind of got injuries on my head.
He's just grateful his sons did not face the terror of the truck because it was a close call.
This is my kid room, and we always had a concern about a car coming up on a curb off the main road.
Jackson and his family will not have to look at this painful memory for long. They were already in the process of moving before the crash.
I'm very excited to move right now. I'm so ready to move, man.
As Jackson tries to understand how he's able to walk away.
My chair under there, and I landed over here. I don't know how that happened, man.
He's extremely grateful his kids still have a father.
I think I prayed probably 30 times that thank you. I just prayed back to back because I felt like it could have been a lot worse.
Baseball can turn a lazy Sunday into something magical. After the I-Cubs game ended, politicians took over Principal Park to find some magic of their own. The bipartisan slow-pitch softball game returned for year 2, where Iowa's Republicans and Democrats left their politics in the dugout.
Ready? Yes, ready! Let's do it!
Ready? Ready! Let's go get it! Go, 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 go!
Of course it gets competitive. But you will not confuse many of these players for I-Cubs.
We had our first practice yesterday. I think the Democrats had their first practice today.
Some of us might be exposed today, including me.
The lawmakers say this is not about who won or lost. To them, this softball field of dreams represents how the team versus team nature of politics can sometimes be an error.
It's really hard sometimes to build those meaningful political relationships with the other side. And so I think this provides a really good opportunity.
We are all Iowans, and at the end of the day, that's what's important, and we all want what's best for this state. And so doing something like this, coming together, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter about your party. It just matters about being Iowans.
Someone still had to win. And now that the Democrats have former pro baseball player J.D. Schulten on their team.
With J.D. on your team, do you think you're going to win this?
Oh, God, yes.
That prediction came true thanks to Schulten's home run, and the Democrats took home the trophy. This game might feel like a distant memory when the next legislative session starts, but for one afternoon, these lawmakers felt like kids again.
What's up, good game for charity?
At Principal Park, I'm Taj Simmons. Darren Hobbs made a simple plea at Des Moines Youth Town Hall.
Too many times our students are telling us what they need. We're hearing them, but we're not listening.
When the adults started listening, students opened up.
They don't see a future for themselves because teachers, not just the teachers, the whole system, they don't build you for a future sometimes.
Hobbs is responsible for recruiting those teachers to Des Moines Public Schools. He says teachers need to clearly listen to what these students had to say.
When they feel disrespected, when they feel being discriminated against, when they feel being neglected, then that causes them to want to retreat. And it should not be rocket science to us because as adults, we feel the same way.
One theme kept coming up, the color of the classroom, and how non-white students felt hopeless without mentors that looked like them.
A lot of little black kids and even bigger black kids, they don't see people who look like them, so they don't think that they can become anything.
There's a big disparity in Des Moines. 2/3 of Des Moines public school students are non-white, but more than 90% of teachers in the district are white.
It was very heartbreaking to hear that many of our students' lived experience is still very challenging and problematic when it comes to interaction with teachers.
A culture change could come with the arrival of incoming Superintendent Ian Roberts.
We just got our first black, superintendent. That's something that's really nice. But
Hobbs believed the change starts with listening to the students.
There's now a time to create action, relevant, meaningful, substantive action, because our kids are crying out to us.